All right, we're live. Welcome to Shitcoin Talk, episode 47. I'm your host at Dumb, and these are my guests. Godson, you can introduce yourself if you'd like.
Yeah, thanks. My
Welcome.
name is Godson, aka Altcoin Godson or Godson_Manta. I'm a shitcoin trader. I'm essentially what Neithercoin wants to be when he grows up. So I'm like, I'm just out here buying.
Don't make me tell him.
So yeah, I'm gonna pass it off to Luke.
What's up, guys? This is my first guest appearance here on Shitcoin Talk.
Woo!
Yeah, the new guys here just came in 2017, so it's funny. I actually came to a lot of these guys. Didn't find them first on Shitcoin Talk, but came to a lot of these guys, asked them for help, and kind of looked at the different methods they were using to find coins. So happy to be here.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome,
good to have
man.
you, man. Good to have you.
Not so.
Not so.
Oh, thanks, Luke. It's nice to have you on here, man. I'm at Not So Fast, and I've retired. All I do now is post on Twitter and get into fights about KMD. And I used to be an altcoin miner, and I used to trade, but now I don't do any of that anymore. So I'll pass it off to Neithercoin.
Times are tight nowadays. Hi, I'm Neithercoin. You can follow me on Twitter at Neithercoin or at InvestFeed. That's where all the good stuff happens. Just here to talk some shit coins and make sense of why you guys are panicking so much. Pass it off to Noose.
What's up, guys? This is Noose, same Twitter handle. I'm just pretty much chilling, seeing everyone panic over these retraces, and I'm looking at how much I'm up from about a month ago and just chilling, just looking at everyone losing their fucking minds.
Perfect. I feel the same way, kind of. Okay, so we got another tip request from the same guy that tipped last week. Scoop GG, thanks, buddy. So I got 3 coins here: Wager, Pegasus coin, and Footy Cash. I think we start off with Footy Cash because it seems like we did a little research on that one.
Yeah, it's the only one I can really touch up on. Pretty interesting little coin. Really low market cap, $4 million, but sitting around about 10,000 satoshis. They've got master nodes, dark send features, stealth address, all that stuff. They also have it's a fantasy soccer league, but they're also splitting out into like NFL football and UFC, and they'll do a whole bunch of other stuff. I think that's going to launch sometime in February here. Pretty cool coin. You can just sign up, I think, play for free and until they actually open up the full version. Or you can set up a master node and just sit on it.
Do we have someone to pull up a chart, or is this not one? I don't have a chart here.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this one, it is interesting. I did a little research on it. It's kind of like got a nice little niche, but the thing that I like about it is the market cap's pretty low, $4.5 million. So and it's an old coin, so that's another good thing too. Not a new ICO or something.
Yeah, been around a year and a half or so. It's also kind of cool, for people who are into sports and stuff like that, something different to do with your crypto besides just betting. They got a 50-50 revenue share system. So that's pretty cool. It gets generated with the master nodes. Cool little idea built in there.
Dude, are you like the PR for this coin or something like that?
The worst part is I don't even own the coin, god damn it.
He just knows his FA, and he's shilling before filling.
Yeah, stupid. Yep. I'm always backwards.
I did that with Ella, and I can't do that ever again.
Yeah, it hurts sometimes. I mean, right now at the spot it's at right now on this chart, I mean, it looks decent,
It looks absolutely terrible.
Really?
No,
right.
I mean, obviously, well, no, actually, it doesn't look terrible. I was just joking, right? But someone pointed out earlier that it's still up like 10x where it was at the end of at the accumulation range, really. So it's kind of a pumped coin, and your boy doesn't buy pumped coins, mate. So I mean, I would probably wait for another like sideways before I consider buying into this thing.
Yeah,
But,
I think that's fair.
Market cap is
Am
still
I sharing
pretty low.
this shit?
So
Yeah.
Yeah, now you are.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I see what you guys are talking about, but what's kind of promising about it, not fully retracing and dying, is that it had that accum zone, but it's tapped down into it like twice, and right now it's kind of a tough time to buy, so I will wait for it to cool down, because it's kind of hard advocating anyone to buy after
16
that's
times.
1,673%. Yeah, that's kind of a nasty pump. But it's
What do you
also about
think
keeping in perspective, because I mean, you guys are saying it's low cap. My mind is stuck in 2014, but I still do agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the coin, we're talking about a $4 million market cap, regardless of how high it's moved. That only ranks at 626th out of all altcoins, right? So
That's super low.
yeah, like even at a 10x, that doesn't even get it into the top 250. So I agree, it's up a lot, and I don't have a bag or nothing. So
I mean, there's
I regret
another
everything.
factor too. I'm sorry, Nitacoin, to interrupt. And it comes down to, it's a Topia coin. It's got, Topia coins usually have shit liquidity. The volatility's high. So, if you're thinking about buying with a stop, don't use Topia. And if you're thinking about buying too high, you just gotta get over it. You didn't buy in that cycle. If you want it, you want it.
Yeah.
I mean, something
Agreed.
to also think about. I'm looking at the website. I just actually signed up, and I'm going to shill before Phil too. The platform's actually pretty
Yes.
legit. Like, I just placed a free bet for the Super Bowl game, and then the one thing that's a little bit concerning, going back to it being a Topia coin, is the 50-50 revenue share. So I don't know how Bittrex and everyone else is kind of positioning, but pretty much anything, at least my take is, anything that can be labeled a security or sharing revenue or paying dividends probably won't get listed anywhere else.
Yeah, man, but let me
That's a good
stop you right
point.
there, because that matters for ICOs where shares were sold in the form of tokens to do that. But because Footy Cash was a proof of work launch, was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was.
If it was a proof of work launch, you get around that. That's how most recently, like Crypto Bridge did their launch. They made a fairly mined, zero pre-mined proof of work thing, because you oh, look, SoCal's here. What's up, man?
Hey, SoCal.
Yeah, you can deke out that regulation thing by distribution by fair mining, where people choose to participate with a commission of hardware rather than a commission of funds in return for shares. And that way, you completely deke out all those regulations, which is why I'm bullish on mining for the future.
Is that the
What did they do
Steam
with
It
the
routine?
coins, though?
What's that?
The Steam It route is the exact same thing that Steam It did too. But they had
Well,
a
you guys just blew my mind.
Yeah, that was weird.
No. I'm glad Not So Fast brought this up, because Dan Larimer put out a blog post probably over a year ago at this point, and it was pretty. I don't know the right word, because it had a mixture of outrage. It had people that were just all over it, but when you actually read through it, it sort of made sense. And if now Crypto Bridge and other places are kind of getting around that using that same methodology, then there was a lot more to it. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, like we'll shill it out as like a supplemental thing, because I would hate for people not to read that, because on one big side of the community, if you will, the crypto Twitter community, everyone was like, this guy's just making an article on how he insta-mined his coin and he's a jackass. But if he found a way to actually circumvent it and it wasn't just, random talk, then it's actually pretty brilliant.
Yeah, and that's why something like APX or something got delisted from Bittrex, right? Because it was an ICO and it did promise sharing and stuff,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Speaking of
Even coins that were doing burns, though, right? Wasn't that like a dividend loophole, and then they eventually delisted them? There was a group right before APX.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I was,
Yeah, so
I was
that
gonna
would be
say.
Gambit.
GAM. That would be GAM.
But
When I
Gambit was
talk-
also ICO'd
Yeah,
or
So it's
crowd
but they
all-
sale
actually
or
didn't
whatever.
get delisted yet, and I don't know that they will because they're not burning the coins. I don't think. I don't know what
Not
they're
yet. Permanent lockups, as far as I know.
99 years.
It sounds like it's a really gray area, and the rules can be bent either way. It sounds like from what you guys are saying, because there are a lot of ICOs that are listed that did that. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, I guess those are the ones that are the target to be delisted right now. So it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, regulators will figure that out. Like they're like, okay, you can't burn it. All right, 99-year lockup, and then regulators will say, well, that's the same as effectively a burn. But then what that does is it puts a numeric slippery slope on there. So maybe that'll slide down to a point where they say, okay, 6-month lockups are okay. That makes it not a security, or like 5-year lockups are okay. That makes it not a security.
Mhm.
So they'll have to land somewhere, and the parameters of the software will force. Eventually, like this is over a long time, we'll force them to land on something and make a ruling either way that sets a precedent, and then you have like everybody kind of jumping on that precedent and
Right.
flying under the radar or whatever they do, flying past the regulatory wall.
Wow.
Well, you know what I want to say as a general thing? I'm really bullish on securities as a whole because Bittrex isn't the end all be all. And at first it was the stepping stone towards Polo, and then it was Polo's replacement. And it was kind of getting scary there for a moment where if you didn't get on Trex, there was just this kind of looming doom. But now we have Valium everywhere, and we have Valium in particular in places like Binance who do retarded things like credit you Neo that they shouldn't even, I mean, gas for Neo that they shouldn't be staking. So we're definitely in this much better area where Bittrex delists something and it's like, oh, people are going to panic because they're retarded, but it's still going to be on a Binance. It's still going to be on a coin exchange that is pulling absurd volume for what coin exchange is, not taking away from them, but it's just for a while there, it was just, who are they,
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say that I find it quite.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say that I find it interesting that in this space we're sort of trying to stay away from securities, but that's kind of, I think, like one of the most useful like sectors for crypto is like this ability to buy a security from anywhere, and kind of, I feel like this is where we're going, like in the end. I mean, like no one like in their right mind thinks that a crypto security is a bad idea. It's just like we haven't legally found a way to like do it yet, and I feel like in the end that's what is going to win out this race for like what's the best use case for crypto and the ability to send. So my friend just got like a letter to vote in some stupid stock that he owns, right? And it's like, think about how much that would change if it was a crypto security and you could just pull up your phone and vote, and you don't have to send letters and stuff like this. So it's like, in the end, I feel like it's gonna win out, but right now it may still be like a legal battle.
Yeah. Well, that's a great analysis on Footy Cash. I'll have to say.
That blew up.
That kind of got out of hand, man. I don't even know if we have time to do the other. What were the other ones?
We got philosophy.
Pegasus coin and Wager coin. Do you guys have anything
No,
else?
I think.
Were you good?
I think we're good. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we did enough. We'll come back next episode.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, that was weird. I can't believe that was great. Okay. The other coins we have, going off this list, ARO. I don't know what these tickers are. QSP. What is that? Quicksilver? No.
Quantstamp, I believe. I think it's Quantstamp.
Quantstamp. Okay. Neo, Ethereum Classic. We'll probably go over Ethereum as well. MRJA, which is Ganja coin. Bismuth. There's SoCal's here. Okay, good. Bismuth guys here, and XSH, which is Shield. I think
Shield coin.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, where should we start? Got anything for ARO?
Yeah,
Mhm.
ARO is a CPU mining coin.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
I've been picking up recently with my CPUs.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. So what is it? Tell us about it.
Honestly, I just turned my CPUs onto it. I saw freaking Frisbee shilling it. So I started looking into it and just turned my CPUs onto it. So I'm not qualified to talk about that just yet. By the way, what's up, everybody? It's me, Carlos Matos.
God damn it! Stop, dude. You can't do that. I think he's going
That's
crazy.
silly.
I don't know what the guy's deal is, but I hope he's okay.
So
Um,
ARO, it's like not on an exchange. It's just CPU mineable only. You can mine it with GPUs, but they won't be any faster than CPUs. It's kind of CryptoNote-esque, and it launched with like a lot of good resources plus its own pool. There's a lot of like hardcore miners are quite into this, which is why SoCal's mining it, and which I'm not because I don't have a whole lot of CPUs on right now. It's SHA 512 plus Argon 2i is the mining algorithm. So presumably that's something that's like not very memory hard, but it's got some weird extra thing that makes it equal for GPUs and CPUs. And yeah, not much more other than a solid low info but high supporting documentation proof of work launch. So
that's what
it's
I
one to
saw
watch for sure.
Yeah, because the people were talking about GPU miners being made, and people were saying no, it's not going to work for them, and that was kind of interesting because I've always thought that CPU mineable coins were only CPU mineable until a GPU miner came out, and then it was off to the races. But
No, that's the truth. That's the truth. No matter what.
if they can actually get that to work for them, like in their favor, then that's actually a pretty big deal in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
some
actually-
CryptoNote coins like your GPU boost is only like 10% over a CPU, and it uses more energy somehow. I'm not really
Right.
sure about the nuts and bolts of it. I wish one of the like mining dudes that develop miners could sort me out at some point. But yeah, it used to be a massive advantage before CPU, but when CPU mining took over from GPUs, or rather the other way around. But now it's not much of one for certain algorithms that you can design.
Right, because
Yeah.
someone would just release a private miner for something like this, and then they would just be able to own the hash rate until other people got it, I suppose, too.
That does happen. In fact, the most recent example that I know of is Bismuth. Back before they officially launched GPU mining, somebody else, someone had figured it out for themselves and programmed themselves up a working GPU mining program, and they broke the fucking network.
Yeah,
because
I remember that.
everybody else was on GPUs, and then this one jackass came in with a fuckload of GPUs. So that's still occurring.
Yeah, might not even been a fuckload of GPUs. What if it was just one GPU and he's just like, gotcha? Like that's what I always thought.
That can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been just one GPU, but to break the whole damn network, because there was still a shitload of hash rate on it for as many CPUs were on it. I would say they would have needed at least a few GPUs.
Yeah. If there's, do we have anything else for ARX? We could kind of segue into Bismuth if you'd like.
We should now.
Okay, Bismuth, let's go.
Woo-hoo.
SoCal, tell us what's going on here.
Well, to my knowledge, they are continually updating, working on all their little goodies that they're doing, master nodes, and they're still working with that. I think it was a Norwegian research group or something like that. As far as I know, that they're still involved with the difficulty algorithm research, and basically just continually updating and causing a little bit of issues over at Cryptopia, because every time they update, Cryptopia is slow to follow up on that. So
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at the chart right now. If someone has a chart, maybe I could pull up. But this kind of reminds me of the Equitrader chart, where there's all these like market pauses and shit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I know they're having they're like their own new blockchain. They got some issues to work out, but I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
I just
like-
checked the developer. You guys see this? Please stop making biz tickets to Cryptopia when you have issues with the web wallet. We do not want to get delisted.
They're like, please don't get us delisted, dude.
Yes, that is great advice. So, Kyle, I had to interrupt you on that because I don't want another XRB.
yeah. But
Actually,
like
wait, I do want another XRB. Keep making tickets.
Yeah, Cryptopia is
Right?
like,
I was about to say that. I was about to say, as you even said earlier, at the fucking they got Binance and KuCoin and all sorts of other high volume options now. It's no longer just one exchange or you're done.
That is
Yeah.
true. So you know what? Keep making tickets. Keep having issues. Get delisted from Topia. Go into a queue for about half a year to a year, and then give me another 500x. That'd be awesome.
It's all a conspiracy.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I think this one's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say from a TA perspective apart from the fact that it pumped. Once again, all these coins had like really good accumulation ranges, and then you get your pump, and then now it's just kind of slowly dying all the way down. And I feel like shit for not selling, the top, but it's just like you kind of have to wait for another like sideways or at least this sort of downtrend to stop before you can consider trying to get into this coin again.
Yeah,
Luke, was this on your radar at all? This type of coin?
What?
No, I haven't tracked anything like this. I actually have a buddy who brought this up to me yesterday or shot me a text or something. But no, I haven't tracked this. It's interesting. I don't look at too many small caps, but looking at the way that these charts are shaping up and kind of how they all took off from that December 9th or December 7th, whenever the altcoin season started or whatever you want to call it. But it's the retracements are a lot more pronounced. The retracements are huge here as opposed to you look at some coins on Bittrex and Binance and they haven't retraced as heavily. It's still the same pattern though. So it's going to be interesting to see if the altcoin season continues, if these things actually pick back up or if they drop back to accumulation. But no, I don't know anything about business.
Yeah, I was gonna say that building off of what both Luke and Godson said is that now is the time to start looking, not exactly start accumulating, but now is the time to start looking for coins that are getting close to accumulation zones. As Godson had pulled up with his chart, you could see that awesome retrace that is currently happening. Yep, right there. But once the floor is established, especially if you still want to get a master node for Bismuth specifically, wait until the floor is established and then start your accumulation. It's too easy, rinse and repeat. That's all. Pattern recognition. That's all you got to do.
How much do you need for a master node on this? Is it publicly known yet?
The developer, as far as I know, there's still not a set number, but he said no less than 10,000 biz.
Fair enough. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty bullish on it long term. I'm still holding my OTC buys from 5K, and I wish I kind of wish I did sell a partial, but I didn't have a reason to sell a partial beyond kind of trading, if that makes sense. Like from an investing perspective, there was no reason at all. The volume, I think, near the top range at peak was I think 70 BTC or something, just garbage. And there wasn't even like huge 24-hour gains. So, from an investing perspective, I still think it needs some time to bake. But, as a trader, I definitely missed that top range.
Yeah. That was pretty wicked.
I'm not going to lie. I sold the partial near the top, and I've been slowly easing back in.
I would be buying right now if it didn't say market paused. Investigating.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I was logged.
Again, like that again right there. That makes me think that like we are on the last or penultimate straw here for Topia. So like, don't send tickets unless, of course, you do. That's your strat to delist to play the meta game.
Yeah.
Delisting game.
I would preface that with only if you have the money to pay the listing fee for some other exchange, though.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick,
All right. Good. I see Godson's got a QSP chart. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just trying
going
to
all
sort
crazy
of
now.
knock out the big caps that I can actually chart. So this is actually Neo. It's not QSP.
All right,
but
we can do Neo first if you want.
yeah, I've got a QSP chart as well. Well, there's not much to say about Neo except from that bull flag was the most obvious thing on the world, and you can also see if you look at the little sort of mini me of Neo, gas, you can see the same sort of pattern right there, and you can see like hitting that same sort of all-time high levels and kind of being stagnant and like the same area. It's all like the same market maker just doing his thing. But I think once again, there's not much to say with these two coins except if we get new all-time highs, then it might be good to buy it. But if not, this might be like a serious resistance.
Yeah, we were talking about deep retraces and stuff. I mean, that one was pretty brutal because it pumped into like China saying they didn't want it was like a lot of drama. So that one got hit like harder than most, I think, but it bounced back like in a big way. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of reminds me of what Bitcoin is doing right now. It's like this sort of like sideways flagging, which could cut really, really deep, but in the end, like it's still a bullish pattern. So
yeah.
Godson, what I like on that chart too, if you go back to it, I don't know if you can have your chart up while I'm talking, but
yeah,
it's actually right above. Yeah, perfect. I posted a chart about this on Twitter the other day about a lot of people trying to play the breakout, and it's kind of retesting that top area right now. I think you're on a 1 day. On a 4 hour, you can see it nicely. But if you look back left on the left side of the chart, back to Godson's screen, now I can't see it. I can see it again. Zooming out way back. So see the previous all-time high, that spike like in June, and then look right where that retest was before it made its next leg up.
Same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm like looking for here, especially if, I mean, these DApps are just going to keep coming out on Neo. I think it's underpriced at a tenth of Ethereum's value. I think it can make another run here.
Okay.
And it is looking like it's over the all-time high, or it broke it a little bit. It is kind of chilling. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, my big stake is in gas, so
and that was the kind of easy thing where if you saw Neo going up, then it's
you just buy gas, because, right?
Yeah. I mean, whichever one is kind of lagging behind, you can just kind of pick it up. So
that's basically what I did. It was just like Neo's going up, we'll just buy some gas and follow the market maker. But that's
yeah, cool.
So the other one is QSP, which again,
anybody else got anything to say about Neo gas? Anything?
Yeah, I'm with Luke on that concept of it being underpriced. If it's gonna act anything like, if it acts like kind of a quarter like Ethereum, which it supposedly is the Chinese Ethereum, then the pump based on continuous buys for ICOs is enough to make that comparison. So I think it's something that everyone's gonna regret not buying a lot more of, if only just for the usage sake. Like, damn, I wish I bought it to just toss into whatever ICO.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, you might be looking at it and be like, wow, it's up a lot. But I mean, like you guys are saying, it looks like it's up a lot, but I mean, it could run a lot further, in my opinion, too. So so cool.
Yeah, I remember the arguments for Ether's last pump, where people were like, "Oh, it's only pumping because people are buying it for ICOs. It's gonna collapse." And all I can think of myself like, wait, so you're saying
We've heard
it's only
that
pumping?
before.
It's only pumping because people are buying it to use it to do something with.
Right.
That's this dumb shit we say sometimes, man.
That's the funny thing with Ethereum that I've been saying forever, is you can never have enough Ethereum because there's constantly going to be an Ethereum project, right? So
right,
yeah, you can never have enough Ethereum. If you ever just need to like hold something aside, you can always hold some Ethereum.
Yeah, and that's the thing with projects like Ethereum, versus Bitcoin, is like they try to make their coin useful on the network, as opposed to Bitcoin, which is trying to sort of make it useful in the real world. So it's like you have this thing where like the demand for Ethereum is based on the activity on the network, right? Whereas with Bitcoin, it's like apart from like some of the new nodes launching, like Lightning and what have you, you don't really have a use for Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network as opposed to any other coin where you could use it to do dApps or smart contracts or whatever.
Yeah, Bitcoin's basically the gold standard, right, for crypto. So Ethereum's a lot different than Bitcoin for that aspect. Like Bitcoin's main use case is holding Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Like a block of gold. Ethereum is constant cycle. That's all you're doing with Ethereum. It's in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
One thing that I do like to say is if you are looking at those kind of angles, always look at those offset markets too. You can make a lot more money on some of those Ethereum markets or some of the alternative markets instead of looking at the BTC market.
I think Bitcoin's main use case is to buy alt with.
Well, yeah, absolutely,
Yes.
but
Yep.
Agreed.
it's just a good standard.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this?
This is QSP. It's a shitcoin I've never heard of till just now.
Perfect. That's what we love. We love that.
Market cap is $200 million, as is with literally everything these days.
Yeah, it's not out of the norm. Does anybody know what this coin is about? Luke, maybe you have an idea.
Yeah. Recent ICO, maybe actually not too recent. I think it was sometime in 2017, but it's a platform for auditing smart contracts. So I believe they partner with either other ICOs or other projects that need smart contracts on the Ethereum net audited. And I'm really not sure how their token's used, but I just know it's smart contract auditing.
So it's a token for launching tokens.
I don't think it launches them. I think it's like a proof of
A service provider.
Yeah, like when you get audited by QuantStamp, it's like a proof of audit or something that's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
God.
think it's
like proof of debt.
amazing how we've come full circle where there's a coin for like doing coins.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, personally, I thought I like this coin. I have no idea how Godson doesn't know about it. Obviously, doesn't follow me hard enough on Twitter. But
I don't follow you at all.
He
bro,
unfollowed
you follow me. I see you trolling. No, but this was on the shitcoin calendar here. We're grabbing it at under 625 satoshis here. Sitting now today, around 3,300 satoshis. So not really interested in buying, but definitely. What was that, Godson?
Nothing.
He was like, did you compliment me, motherfucker?
Can we roll that back? Do we have rollback on this? Yeah.
He turned off his chart.
He's not going to show it anymore.
God damn it.
I mean, I think the concept of audits and ICO review from a technical level, it makes sense. There's a sector for that in security, lots of different sectors. Whether you want to audit the website that's hosting your content or audit the product, for security vulnerabilities. There's that. But it really comes down to whether or not you're gonna have collusion or not. So you have to worry about that, but I guess that the only way that gets solved is if there's a whole bunch of other QSPs that come down the line.
Yeah. Is there any other coin that is kind of like this out there that you guys know of, or is this kind of the biggest one out there, you think?
Not that I know of. I'm not sure how to tokenize an auditing platform, but I'm sure we'll see. I'm sure we'll see the attempt.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Doesn't need a blockchain. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's
I don't know.
All that matters is Godson said I had a good buy. Just roll that back. We'll play it for next episode.
Yeah, we'll put it on the best.
That wasn't me, fam. I got hacked.
Best of 2018 shitcoin talk. Okay.
It
Luke set up a war board behind him. Is that all the stuff you had to hit on the show today, bud?
No, that's it's just my it's my grocery list. So
Nice.
I don't know. I actually don't know what's up there.
All right.
I couldn't have a whiteboard. I would just draw dicks and done there. Like, I would be mad at myself for underutilizing it. Like, I would know I should maybe list top coins I'm watching, this or that, but it would just be a fucking dick, veins, some hairy balls, just like super bad. It would be terrible. It would be underutilized.
Why would you subject yourself to that,
It's
man?
funny.
Because I'm fucking childish.
Yeah.
You figured
Luke,
it out.
You realize you're the most mature one here. So, sorry for dragging you down.
It's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Not at all. Not at all.
I have the exact same setup right behind me, but I can't obviously show it because I'm not a pussy.
With dicks and stuff? Or
Well, no, I just have a whiteboard with do your homework on it. It's like
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's
third grade. That's awesome.
Insult Nitacoin. Like
He
unfollow
showed
Nitacoin.
me. He showed me that whiteboard. It literally says on the top of it, "Nitacoin's picks," and then it just lists them underneath. That's all it is.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
right.
All right.
I don't even know what's on there, but yeah.
Okay, we're gonna dive into Ethereum Classic and Ethereum, I suppose. So what is that? What is that, my dudes?
I've got a chart up, obviously, because
Because
everyone-
the best.
Ethereum Classic. So I actually have two separate charts for it. It's like one for because I don't know, you get bored and you just want to chart ETC. I don't know. So one of them is kind of like noisy and there's like lines everywhere, and the other one is pretty basic. But the very basic idea is it's a double bottom. There's not much else to say there. It double bottom right there. And
That's a shit ton of volume.
Yeah.
I know. But okay, so the volume thing is actually kind of weird because I think this sort of season has seen just everything have way more volume now because of valuation and all that stuff. So a ton of volume doesn't necessarily mean that it's different from what happened before. But anyways, the point is double bottom. You can obviously see where the sort of top of the you can say target, but I don't want to have people DMing me asking
Target, sir?
Well, it's not a target.
What are your thoughts, sir?
It's a possible. it's not a target. It's a possible zone where it could reach. Yeah. So it's just but
So it's a target zone.
Yeah.
No. It's a possible zone. It's a possible zone where it could reach.
I'm just saying, if you were to place cells, where would they be?
One of those red lines. One of them. Somewhat. Whichever one.
So
all I know is Barry said ETC will double this year. Had an advisor say it'll double this year. Meanwhile, he goes over to Zeke and says $60,000 per coin. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, but they own literally every single Zcash. 20% goes straight into their pocket. They don't even have to worry about it. It's pre-accumulated accumulation. You don't even have to bother, buying it on
exchanges. ROI those mining contracts, boys.
Just about.
Never.
Here we are, dude.
This is actually really interesting because you could see where the resistance on this, you could call it a weird sort of double bottom / inverse head and shoulders, but you could see where it got resisted so many times, right? Then it broke out here and tested the previous support that became resistance, and now it's kind of chilling above that range. So I personally think it looks good, but is it going to be the most performing coin of the year? Probably not,
but I know they have some shit coming out. Android kind of talked about it last episode. They have a
Castile
block
or something.
Yeah, so they got a blockchain snapshot or something. You get some free coins. That's always fun.
One thing to consider with this one too, and this is a little bit out of the ordinary, but at one conference I was at in New York, there's a bunch of suits walking around, a bunch of bankers, a bunch of guys that look like me. But Grayscale had a booth, and the fact that they have a ZEC investment trust and they have an Ethereum Classic investment trust, I have kind of a category that I rate longer term holds with, and it's called pleb potential. And it's like new people that are getting into this space that aren't exactly into crypto, or even if they're institutions, are probably going to be able to jump into those trusts a lot earlier. So whether or not it's because Ethereum Classic should be valued more or not, just because it's easier to invest for a lot of institutions or family offices that want to get into a trust but don't want to hold the underlying, I think ETC and ZEC could actually do pretty well from that. So from that perspective, I like Ethereum Classic.
That is a really good point, man. There, like a lot of stuff is going to get securitized and packaged for both institutional investors and traditional investors who are more comfortable with someone in a suit selling them something, like you said. So, you're right in that there's I like what we call pleb potential category. That's that's kind of the type of thing that is going to be just like the derivative industry that doesn't exist for crypto yet, but adds such a ridiculous amount of, de facto market cap on top of it. Once these things are packaged together into indices and funds and products for people to consume on top of the original crypto, I mean, just by virtue of trusted institutions doing that and getting in on it themselves, it's going to allow more people kind of more comfort to interface with them on terms that they're familiar with. Where that's going to a bank and saying, yeah, I want to put this part of my 401k into this crypto fund right here. That's, the shitcoin talk shield part of the crypto fund, the 5% high risk. And then the venture coinist, like safe picks, like I want 60%. And then like, they're going to do all that.
Yep.
Those infrastructures are coming. And everybody says that word infrastructure like it's a big buzzword, because it kind of is, but it's all getting built. Like, it's getting built now that we are out of the woods. Crypto is in the mainstream enough that people want that stuff as a way to get in.
Yeah, I've been hearing a bunch of like crazy valuations for shitcoins, right? People saying like Zcash is hitting like $1 trillion, and like a bunch of like good hodlers that I know are just like, yeah, I'm gonna hold that one. That's like the play of the year, and it's just like, what do these guys know that we don't know? So and like considering like with Zcash, for example, like it's some governments are actually invested in the dev fund or whatever they call it, right? The Israeli government is like part of the people who get the 20% dev fund, and you have like a lot of really like big players getting in. So I still think 2018 is going to be the year that we all go like, what the fuck is going on here?
Things sound those kind of evaluations sound crazy, but if you go back even a year and a half ago, if you would have told me that we had 30 coins over $1 billion, I probably would have laughed at you too. So never worry about that too much. I learned that the hard way. Some of these high market caps aren't necessarily too high. It's just really about positioning and where they sit kind of on the ladder.
Yeah, that's fair. Should we talk? Is there anything to talk about Ethereum, since we're already at Ethereum Classic? Anything you guys want to touch on?
Just keep selling your alts and buying Ethereum right after.
Yeah, perfect.
Anytime you make an altcoin profit, buy some Ether.
Okay.
It's true, man. Circle of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy Ether projects, sell for BTC, use BTC to buy Ethereum, and do it all over again.
Yeah. No, with Ether, I bought really large at like 0.06 or something. I stuck at like pretty much all of me in there, and I left only like half a nut. And I just every win since then, I just been going deeper and deeper, and now you barely see pubes. It's
Okay.
No, but seriously, like Ethereum is one of those coins where it's like you just gotta unless the trend changes massively, which I just don't fucking see happening anytime soon. You can't let the market cap, you can't let the price get to you. It's just a matter of you need it, man. You fucking need
Oh
it.
yeah,
And
I know. The market cap is it's easy to get kind of like, oh wow, that's $100 billion market cap. But I mean, I think Ethereum will have a lot of use in the coming months or years and stuff. So, like you see, yeah, if you profit on something, then it's not a bad idea to maybe get some fucking Ethereum.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
whatever.
I think what is it, like 50 or 60 of the top 100 coins or tokens are running on Ethereum. If you're on
Yeah.
CoinMarketCap too.
yeah,
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I bought
bookmarked the-
Ethereum like what 6-7 months ago. I had a huge bag of Ethereum, and without ever even selling one Ethereum, I was out of Ethereum and had to buy some more at like 0.09.
Right.
So that's how the circle of Ethereum goes, guys.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's the thing too. I bought my size that I wanted for a trade, and then I bought a little more just because of that. I knew when I wanted to get into ICOs, I didn't want to dent it because last year what I heard over and over was I should have just held, my Ethereum. And like it was weird. It was a shitty complaint because a number of people that said that did really well on their ICOs, but I guess it was a matter of they felt like they would have had more control, and who knows? Maybe if they ran the raw numbers, they would have made more on Ether. But that was a top complaint I heard. So this year, I didn't want to be in their shoes.
Yeah, the day Ethereum launched, I remember buying a bag for 8,000 satoshis on Blue Trade, and then letting it go for like
Oh yeah, I remember that.
constant
It got
price.
dumped. Yeah.
literally.
it got dumped to 6 sats on Blue Trade at that point. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that. So whoever got that is pretty
Well,
good.
whoever got that is people like me who sold for like a 2x, and we're like, yay, whatever.
Wait, you were part of that dump?
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I
And
know.
you sold for it 2 times?
Yeah, I did because I
Did you
didn't
sell
think.
half or you sell 100?
Weakest hands ever.
Oh, no.
Godson's got the hot
No,
hands,
no, no, no,
dude.
no, no, no.
Admit that.
I didn't think Ethereum was gonna be like anything special. I thought it was just like another like project.
Did you not see the
If
guy?
there
who
was
made it?
something I would not admit live on air, is that I bought Ethereum at 8,000 satoshis and sold it for 2x.
Godson, what the fuck, dude? Okay.
It was a long time.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that out of respect for you.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
do, please do.
Everyone pray for Godson, please. Okay.
Delete your account.
I think we got time for like one more, or maybe not. I don't know. Either we got marijuana coin, ganja coin, or shield coin. Maybe we should hit shield coin. Or whatever it is. Okay, let's do it. So what the hell is? What am I looking at here?
Anonymous.
Someone get a chart. Someone get a chart.
Another anonymous coin here. This is on a bridge coin special, I think.
It's on Trade Satoshi and
Stocks.
I thought it was on
Exchange,
stocks.
too.
I thought it was
Yeah.
on stocks.
Oh, okay.
Exchange.
Yeah, it's on stocks.
I'm trying to see if I could
Come on, chart guy.
make a sense out of the TA and see,
It was a big
even
mining
matters.
launch that I missed, but really good reward structure right out of the gate. Where perfect for the Instamine, which I didn't
Oh,
get. Covered it a little too late, but it was block halving from 8,000 for the first 14,000 blocks to
Jesus.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
what
the
block
top
it's on
heavy.
right now, but like
That
super
thing is-
top heavy, super good for a strip mine. If you can get working on it right away, but I didn't get in. Still, it's got a lot of fundamental stuff. It's part of the they're calling it the Triforce of 3 different coins. Denarius is one, XXH is the second one, and I think is it Ella the third one? Is that what the Triforce is? I should know better, but
Oh my god, it's probably all the shit that was on fucking stocks exchange.
could well be.
But
So,
that is perfect symmetry.
this thing is like the most like amazing accumulation pump. Like, look at this from 7 satoshis, right? Pump it
7
up to-
satoshis?
Yes,
Yeah.
7 satoshis.
Oh
Pump
yeah,
it
that
up to-
top heavy mining thing means miners will dump because their ROI was under a Satoshi. So
Yeah.
They have a
Yeah.
very
And then
nice
they-
coin spec sheet showing Verge, Monero, Dash, and all the comparisons. And and really making. I can't say whether they are like that good or not, but they definitely check off everything, making themselves look really good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For a privacy coin,
point
it's
that I
really
was
well.
trying to the point that I was trying to make is like the pattern is obvious. Like, you know, they want to keep shaking out, you know, people who have bags. So this pump from 7 satoshis went all the way up to 250, then they dumped it down to 50, you know, 50 satoshis, then re-accumulated it, then pumped it up again to 2400. So like,
Yeah, that's
if
amazing.
if you get another sideways somewhere around like anywhere here, it's probably like a good coin to accumulate and hold for the, you know, the next cycle. And the market cap is still pretty low. It's $30 million. So
Yeah, in comparison with the rest of the privacy coins, it's extremely, extremely low.
I'm just trying to check and explore for the distribution here, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't give a shit about any of the tech. But I would possibly look to buy this, just off the fact that, like, I look at the chart and it looks completely fucking wrecked. So when I'm saying like I'd look to buy it is like kind of, you know, just standard, uptrend, or like something that would make me think it's gonna go up. Just off the fact that these motherfuckers can pump. Like,
Yeah.
you see a coin like that has like, it technically could have died on that 250 sat top, or the top after that. Like, it would have had more than enough reason to just die out forever, because what was that, like nearly 250x or something in the first peaks. So, you know, they're willing to play the long game. And I don't know once again about the tech or anything, but you have to respect pumpers who have multiple cycles.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going on here. There's some strong hand miners. The top 50 addresses have 43% of all the coins in
Yeah, but I was just looking at
that.
So there's some miners strong bag in here.
Yeah, like after, like when we used to see coins launch in the first, you know, half year to a year, the top was always lopsided, and people would always say, "Oh, just wait, you know, and it'll it'll distribute out and be more fair." And they didn't realize they meant wait until, you know, people get dumped on. But after all that price increase and the top is that heavy, then yeah, that's telling.
Yeah, and also if you look at the blocks, you see like the algo changes. So I think it's like a multi-algo, like masternode type coin, which is
cool. Masternode's coming out, it looks like Q2, and they have a secret project which they're introducing sometime in the next 60 days.
Pump
Spicy.
Yeah, that's just pump material right there.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, well, congratulations for all those miners, man. You guys killed it. That's for sure.
My favorite thing is like when you look at like the top 50 you know, rich list. I just like to sort of like click on like each address and see how many you know, transactions, because
I just looked.
One guy has like one guy. So like, look at this one. It's literally just one transaction.
That crazy motherfucker was like, "I'm gonna buy a small bag. Oh shit, I'm a whale."
What that often is, though, is like a miner who got like 20% of the supply, just kind of padding the block explorer so it doesn't look like one retarded amount.
Yes.
At the very
it's like
right?
that's what I think it is. It's just like one guy who has like a shit ton of coins, but he has to like, you know, split it up so it doesn't look too bad. So he just like creates an address, puts some coins in there, creates an address, puts some coins in there.
But it's still obvious because he's got one transaction with
it doesn't take a lot of blockchain forensics to figure that out.
Yeah, but
I'm rich. I don't care.
It's me, right? I mean, like I doubt like the average person on, you know, Bitcoin, like, you know, on Twitter knows like what to go look for when you know, doing this shit. So
I mean, we've said it before, but you know, if you're not looking at the rich lists and you're not looking at the explorers, you're like doing yourself a big disservice.
It's like another single transaction.
We were looking at GitHub's last episode and we found out Feathercoin was actually still being developed, which is kind of weird, but it's just stuff like that. I mean. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you
classic
wallet and it's, you know, a dev's address, and then you have to wonder, is he malicious or not? But that's always fun.
Sure. Guys, look at this. Look at this. So like you have 4 wallets here that's all like 6 million coins each, and each one of them has one transaction each.
Yeah.
Same
Each
guy.
one of them.
One guy.
One guy. So he's just like
Suspicious. That's not suspicious.
all of these coins, like this one. It's all probably the same guy who's just like splitting up, his coins or whatever.
Yeah, watch those wallets.
It's well accumulated.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Well,
This
each
is
one of those
whale
wallets-
watching.
Each one of
We'll
those
call
wallets
this
has
episode.
fucking $350,000 worth of shield coin in him, so I don't think he really gives a shit, man. Like, oh, that's good. All right,
We'll call this episode "Whale Watching with Godson."
Yeah, whale watching. All right, we can do a little roundup. See how everyone's doing. Luke, you want to go first? Maybe you could tell us like a little bit about yourself and like what you do and what you're looking at and just stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Background, like what I was, I'll freeball it. So I got into this in 2017, obviously later than all these guys. I was buying their bags probably now at 5x or 10x from when you guys got in. But I was going to go to grad school and was looking to do something front office or something in investment management or analyst work or something like that. I got into this and this was unbelievable. I'd done FX derivatives in the past, so it was like a really easy transition for me. Jumped into it full time and I'm a lot more focused. I mean, this is a little bit different than what I usually do here on Shitcoin Talk. I'm usually looking at and I'm more fascinated with like understanding the bigger macro picture of cycles and everything, just because I come from FX. So looking at different central bank policies and how different countries and their currencies fit together. So I'm a lot more interested in tracking what's going on with the Bitcoin cycle, what that means for the entire alt market. Much more focused on that, getting in when all alts are priced low, as opposed to, digging in through a rich list and stuff like that. Like I love picking up those tricks, but I'm a lot more macro focused. That's what I'm looking at. And ICOs right now, it's a land grab right now. If you can get in, you're doing 5 or 10x.
What are you looking up for coins?
ICOs. I'm really excited for Go Network. Hopefully, I can get in there. Hopefully Pundy, the Cash App that just or the Square news that just came out, they're going to accept Bitcoin's pretty brutal because I went into Pundy pretty big. But I don't know, looking at a couple other private ones.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good to have you on, man. Thanks for talking with us and stuff. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah,
of course, anytime. All right, who wants to go next? Someone raise your hand. Not so fast. I see you.
Yeah, all right. I'll go next. All I've really been doing is winding out a few Satoshi market plays on the Cryptopia Bitcoin base listing of all their former Litoshi market coins. I have been buying a little bit of stuff though, but it's just been adding to small cap bags of. I bought a little Denarius and I bought a little of. I don't even know. I've been buying small amounts of existing bags, so I don't even really realize what I'm doing. But as far as new stuff on the radar, that besides that ARO coin, which I haven't set up a CPU miner yet for, but I would like to. It's more been a little bit of housekeeping and bag management, as one should do in the first month of a tax year. But as far as mining stuff goes, I've been a little out of the loop, so I'll pass it off to the person who's in the loop, my man SoCal.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Carlos.
Hey, what's up?
No, let's not.
Anyway, started mining ARO recently, like we touched on here. Really just been kind of chopping it up on leverage trading, having fun with that, writing this on Bitcoin. I know shitcoin, but I mean, the Bitcoin's action has been so tasty. And while I'm waiting for all my bags to pump, might as well, So that's really what I've been playing the past week is just leverage Bitcoin plays. While I loaded up a month or 2 or 3 ago on altcoins. So really just kind of waiting and seeing if anything interesting pops up. That's basically it, really. Guess I'll go ahead and pass it off to Neatacoin.
not really that much I'm looking at right now. A lot of things are still above pricing that we got in at, so we don't have to worry. I am looking at a couple new ones. Like I like Storm still. Wait until that hits a major exchange here with the owner of Bittrex involved in it and stuff like that. There's good reason to believe it'll do okay. Wax Coin, another one that I really like. I got involved in. The OP Skins guys are behind that, so that's pretty cool. And then Gat Coin is another one that's kind of just came out. And it hit BTC the other day and stuff, but another relatively low market cap that I'm following, and kind of what Not So Fast is doing, same kind of stuff, just filling old stuff, invest feed, some MSP. I'm waiting on geo markets to open back up so I can get some more of that. And yeah, that's about it. Pass it off to Noose.
Geo will be a good one to watch in the coming weeks, I think.
Yeah, I just want to see that Ubic network open up. That's what I've been excited for, because now the supply, no more new tokens will be created. The supply is what it is, so that's exciting.
Yep. So pretty much I'm not doing much of anything, to be honest. I'm in like my most leisure state in a long time. I'm pretty much just acknowledging the fact that this first peak, came hard and quick, and I got a lot of good buys early on. And last year around this time, what I did was kind of sell out of a lot of stuff that peaked or semi-peaked, and then get in other trades that were a bit lower from the the other coins. So I was kind of just I wasn't sticking to stuff as much. I was holding on to some stuff, and this year I decided I'm just gonna fucking hold everything, because last year I was filled with regret of selling like Flow early and other things that had deep fucking retraces. I think everyone regrets selling DGB, on its deep retrace last year. So I'm just pretty much comfortable waiting however long, whether it's 6 months to even a year, to sell more. Like I got some retarded sells off on all my Topia coins. I got some sells off on like Moto and Flutter Coin and just retarded stuff that, like, I know that the liquidity might take a while to get back because most people bought the top, and that's just how it is.
Yep.
So I'm sitting on a lot of Topia coins still. I don't know when those are going to go back up. I don't really care. I'm not selling them at a loss, and I'm not selling for any less than 10x. And then I just have my Ethereum bag baking, which is like, I think at this point, 17% of my entire equity. I don't give a fuck. Anyone wants to judge me on that. When I bought XMR, I just decided that I'm just gonna hold it however long it takes. Last year I got impatient, but I bought it at 185. It's at 267. It could fucking retrace to 184. I'm still holding that bitch. Folding coin, still holding from 114 or something. So yeah, I mean, it's boring, not great advice for people that can't handle it, but I'm just holding. I took some small partials on the way up, very small, sold I think at most 20% of each individual position. And I'm just waiting for the new cycle of people to believe that they bought low and they're buying 6 to 10x my bags.
Yeah, you're talking about something like Folding Coin, where you bought it, 100, you're still holding it, but like, I mean, it's retraced quite a bit, and it's still at 300, so you're still up that much. There's no reason for you to even like. That's
really it. Is I'm not gonna freak out, and I'm not gonna bitch about the lost profits from the local tops. I'm zooming out, and some people usually zoom out and they're like, oh, the short-term trend ended and let me get out. But instead of just worrying about the short-term trend this year, like I did last year. Last year I obsessed about, 15 EMA, 30 MA, and I was worried about getting out at safe spots, which you definitely, should, and maybe rebuy lower. But if you sold on the way up, a modest amount, fuck it. Just fucking hold and deal with the fact that this is part of the game. You don't get a month to 2 months of everything going up 100 to 200% without experiencing deep retraces. So
Yeah.
As long like whatever it takes to kick people out of my trend, I'm down with. You want to go minus 80% and I'm still up, 50 to 60%. Like until you go deep enough that I'm even at a loss on my original trade, whatever. I'm cool.
Yeah. Let me
Preach, news, preach.
tie up what everyone said.
Bless up, fam.
By
Sorry.
Oh shit! I think I.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hi.
Nah. Let me tie up what everyone said by sort of. I think Luke said something about sort of macro, trends. So I think it's kind of important to sort of in 2017. I sort of noticed how it happened, right? December, January was like the first sort of like test pump. And then everything kind of retraced and got really boring. February, March, right? But then straight after March, things started moving like really strong into the summer. And then after that, like altcoin boom, like July, August ish, then everything started dying, and then Bitcoin went crazy. So I feel like that's the same pattern that's going to repeat this year, because it seems like people tend to get into alts just around the summer time for some reason. And if you actually like ask yourself like, when did I get into alts, it's probably going to be somewhere around that time, right? And yeah, so most of my positions were already locked in like around that December period. I got in so low. I'm not even anywhere near like losing money on some of these trades, so I'm not really doing much else. But then it's just so I've just been sitting on my hands, and to pass the time, I've been doing other stuff. I started actually because of Luke. I kind of wanted to sort of follow his trail and start doing like a YouTube thing, and working with some projects and stuff. Yeah, no, it's the circle of life.
Oh God. Jesus. All right. Cool. As for me, I was just saying the same thing, sitting on my hands. I got some good buys in, so maybe it retracing a little bit, but there's no reason to sell. You kind of got you're safe from like break evens if you're up a bit. And I don't know. I just feel like better holding than kind of doing other stuff than sitting here stressing about either if I should be selling or if I should be holding or whatever. So I don't even log into Bittrex every day anymore. I kind of been slacking, but
yeah, we're up like from like the middle of December there, we're up like 300%. And then in the last 2 weeks, we've seen a retrace of about 21%. That doesn't get me worried, guys. I got everyone's all freaking out online and what should I do? What should I do? That doesn't worry me. That's one day of a correction. Right?
Yeah, just close your eyes, dude. Just close your eyes.
So yeah, like as long as, like everyone said, as long as we're still in profit, there's no need to worry and sell it off, right? You're just gonna jump into something else. So
yeah, cool. Any last words here? You guys got anything else?
I'm the eye in the sky, my friend. I'm watching you.
Okay. Not so fast as watching over all of you.
I just want to say one last thing before we end.
Oh God, what?
I said he knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
It's Crypto Santa Claus over here.
I got one last thing too. I'll wrap up after Godson.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the situation with Storm, it was not as Neithercoin described it. I didn't clear that up. I didn't ask him to sell the bottom. That was just not true at all.
I didn't even say that on here. What are you doing to yourself?
Oh yeah, nothing. Well, forget about that. Though.
Jesus Christ! All right, Luke, what's up?
I was gonna say, in the wake of all the tether FUD, we didn't even touch on the tether FUD too much, but kind of in the wake of all that, I don't even buy into all that FUD. Whatever, if you're gonna scam everyone, I don't think you do it with a transparent technology. But even if that's the case, it's a scam. I'm going to be on the lookout for a coin that hits exchanges. It should hit exchanges tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. It's a little homework assignment for all the listeners out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's good stuff.
Get it.
Like a stable coin?
Okay, we got Twitters in the description, all that stuff. Tip jar if you want us to talk about your coin, whatever. Thanks for the tips, appreciate that.
In before Maker Coin.
Yeah, Maker Coin. What else is there? I don't know. That's it. Thanks guys for coming on and talking shit. I like it.
Thanks for having me.
That's all I got.
Later.
Okay.
Peace, buddy.
All right.
Bitcoin sucks.
Dude, come on.